some basics of some Sicilian dragon variations, and we are going for some interesting chess studies today. So let me start with a short introduction to the dragon variations in Sicilian. So Sicilian, as you know, is statistically gives better results as while playing as black. So most people prefer that, and that is what interested me to learn more about this. So when the white plays e4 move, trying to gain control of the center, black usually finds that c5 is statistically better in the game, and so it stops white from launching the d4, uh, as well as giving some other cool variations to play against. So the natural play we see is the knight coming to f3 to gain some more central control. And what black does in the classical, the regular dragon variation, is it just pushes the d6 pawn so that a strong pawn chain is formed, and the white bishop is also having some active play. That is how this move is made. And then d4 from white, trying to again control the center, trying to exchange. Mostly white in these cases looks forward for an exchange with this c5 pawn. So the exchanges happen, and now knight f6. Here the black is trying to get started with the king side development for the castle, and then we usually see g6, so that it is a preparation move for fianchetto of the king side bishop, basically dark colored bishop. It's a preparation move. And then white is also going for some good development of its pieces, supporting this knight on the d4 as well. And then the fianchetto is done. Basically, this g6 starts the dragon variation. It is marking the dragon variation. And then this is a super important move, where the f3 pawn now supports the center as well as stops the black knight from going to the g4, knight g4. Yep. And then black castles, and then queen d2. This move supports the dark colored bishop against this diagonal, and then it is getting ready, getting the king ready for the castle on the queen side. So this basically is a good formation for white as well. And then knight c6. This completes the development, and this is the regular dragon variation of the Sicilian defense. Um, in this, the game goes on forward with the white usually tries to exchange this bishop, puts the bishop on the h6, bishop h6, and then tries to exchange it with the dark colored bishop, because it is a strong defender on the king side as well. If the diagonal is open, it plays a good role. That is how they want to exchange the dark colored bishop, and then castle on the queen side. The king is castle on the black is castle on the king side. White tries to castle on the queen side, and then the king side pawn storm is launched, and then there is a really aggressive game in this situation from both sides. Um, this is regular Sicilian dragon, and what I just described was a Yugoslav attack. So basically trying to castle, get the rook involved, and exchanging the bishop, and then launching pawns. So both sides starting the attack. This basically is a Yugoslav attack. And then in this, if you see, this particular pawn goes d6 and d5. Here, if you see, it goes first d6 without going to d5 or something like that. So this marks as a dragon if in this formation. But in the accelerated dragon, instead of going 2 steps, we directly try to go, instead of going 1 step, we directly try to go 2 steps. That is what accelerated means here. So it starts like a regular Sicilian e4, c5, and f3 and c6, and then common exchange here. Now here, uh, instead of making a d6 move, like in Dragon, here we are trying to prepare the bishop for fianchetto, and that is how we are gaining some amount of tempo here. So uh, this is usually a strong reply from white for this particular Sicilian variation. This is called as Maroczy bind, when the pawns are situated in this position, and basically white is having open area, rapid development of pieces, but black doesn't have much scope for opening its pieces, and the position is a bit cramped. Not that black totally loses every time, that black also does win, but this Maroczy bind is a good strong reply against the Sicilian in the accelerated dragon variation. So yep. So the bishop fianchetto, and then now again the white is trying to develop its pieces, and the formation becomes similar to that as of earlier one. So this is basically accelerated dragon. And then in the Sicilian defense of the hyper accelerated, we try to let's just go through the moves: e4, c5, and f3, g6. Instead of even bringing the knight here first, like in accelerated dragon, we directly go, instead of the pawn going here on the fourth move in the accelerated dragon, we just go directly with the pawn move on the second move itself. So and the rest of it continues in the same way. For example, the d4 pawn, the exchange. Now here white has two choices. It could take with knight, or it could take with queen also. So queen into d4 gives rise to some interesting variations here. Yeah. So let's say if the knight takes d4, knight c6, then white is trying to develop its pieces like in most of the variations we saw earlier. And then fianchetto of the bishop, trying to attack here. White bishop is supporting this particular knight, and then this particular pawn is trying to keep an attack on this important f7 pawn, as well as trying to free up the king for castle. So castle on the king side, it just bishop takes back to the safe position, and then same pawn movement here supporting the e4 pawn, as well as trying to defend the g4 square against the knight coming there. Bishop d7. So in basically in the hyper accelerated, you see that the this g6 pawns comes very soon ahead in the game. Instead of on the fourth move like in accelerated dragon, it comes on the second one here. So after the pawn takes, you can see a couple of variations here. Like instead of taking the pawn, we can just go for a bishop also. If white tries to be greedy and takes the pawn on c5, we can give a check and recover the pawn. Then if again like the queen is in open, and if we just try to drive away the queen, you can come back to the safe square and then try again your development as usual here. Or if you see, the white could come, in case the white knight comes here on the a3 position, there is interesting tactic here, like the uh, black wins two pawns here and also a knight. So this is an interesting position here. And if again if white plays a knight to scare away the queen, again a check, and then it just tries to retreat back to safety, and it has at this position black has a significant advantage and can play well throughout the game. So in this, if you see in the Maroczy bind and a variation called as Rossolimo variation, and these are some interesting responses from white against the Sicilian. So e4, c5, and f3, and c6, and then what bishop does is it just goes to b5, trying to attack this particular knight here. And the interesting part here is it just wants to exchange this knight, so that if it is taken with either of the pawns, it forms a double pawn, which is considered to be a disadvantage. And then white continues its play very well by castling on the king side, and developing its pieces towards attack on the king side here, because once the pawns are disturbed over here, it is harder for king to castle on the queen side and stay safe. So the black usually would try to castle on the king side. That is how white already knows the information about it and tries to attack on the king side from the beginning. Yeah. So these are just some of the basics of the dragon variations in Sicilian. Rossolimo is especially favorite of Fabiano Caruana, and in World Chess Championship like 2018, he played this variation thrice against Magnus Carlsen. So this is an interesting variation. We are not going deep into this, but just good to know variation. Yep. Any questions, suggestions so far?
Hey Shri, yeah, this is Johnny. This is great. Could you go back? I don't know where were you? Maybe start one of them. There was a move I was wondering about. When white goes for d4. When white goes for d4.
Okay.
Maybe here, maybe somewhere else. Where you took on d4, you did not have d6 up. It was
okay.
You started the Sicilian.
In this case, the d6 won't be up. In this case,
yeah, somewhere here. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Is it? And I think was the next move you can take, or yep. Is it okay to play b6, pawn b6 instead of taking?
Instead of taking. Yeah, that could be one of the variations. But while playing Sicilian, I've seen that this queen loves to come here or here, and then trying to mostly when I play Sicilian with this variation, my queen comes here and then tries to create an attack. So the dark colored bishop quite for sometimes stays attached to this pawn until the position is solved. So yes, but let's see what instead of taking this, if we do this. Yeah, Stockfish is also saying that
you can also go d5, driving the knight out, and then you can also play e5 after that. Then you'll have a great center.
d5
after b6 will be met with d5.
b6 yeah.
And then you have to go to b8 or a5 or somewhere.
Yeah, so the knight loses its natural position.
And then
basic. Yeah, and the basic of the Sicilian, we play this move so that we can stop this pawn, the central pawns marching forward. That is the fundamental thing about playing c5. So it's better to take whenever possible instead of allowing these pawns to be having this center control.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I had a question too. In the Yugoslav attack, when black plays the move like g6.
Black plays the move like g6.
Yeah, because the pawn to g6. Yeah, off this like earlier here. Yeah, okay. Like isn't instead of playing g6, do they sometimes play like a6 to start like the Najdorf or something? And the idea being like protect the b5 square. So I was just wondering, like, because like in the Najdorf or whatever it's called, like playing a6 is like important to guard that square. But then like here, is this somehow saying that like playing g6 and doing things over there like makes it less valuable for like white to attack that square? And then I just wonder like what's the trade-off going on here?
Even I am curious after a question about comparing Najdorf versus Dragon. So we're just going here for Dragon variations, but in the Najdorf, yes, basically the pawn tries to come here so that none of the knights could come here. Yeah, that is what I remember, but I need to see comparison between the Najdorf variation and the Dragon variations. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, because I think I've seen before that like it's a bad idea to play both. Like if you play a6, go with that. If you play like g6, then don't never play like g6 and a6. I think it like takes too much time or something. So I know that like it's sort of like, yeah, do one or the other. But it's interesting that like doing the dragon formation on that side seems to like maybe it's that, yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, that is one part, and there is when a Maroczy bind is formed, usually black has to be patient and goes with a formation called as hedgehog pawn formation. I can quickly show hedgehog. So in that particular formation, yeah, we can see here. In this particular, if you can see the image, see this, yeah, as you said, this particular pawn is up, but not the g6 one. It just tries to form this particular formation against Maroczy point. So you're right, like not having these two pawns could be an interesting insight there.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it seems like, yeah, I'll have to think more about it. But yeah, that's interesting to see that formation too.
Yeah. Yep. So this queen takes here also. There is something interesting. Instead of knight taking the d4 pawn, the queen also sometimes takes. And in this case, the knight is forced to cover this because the rook is under attack. So we go here, and then obviously we are going to see that this knight is going to come here to attack the queen as well as do some development. So sometimes queen tries to move, sometimes the knight also comes here to do some interesting variations here. Let's say if it comes here and then it goes here, like in some game I have seen, I don't remember which game, but in some game it is interesting to see this. So queen into d4 is also a move that is feared in hyper accelerated. So this particular move should be taken care of properly in hyper accelerated. In the Sicilian, in the accelerated one, it is the Rossolimo variation. Rossolimo is interesting variation. I think even Stockfish suggests to play that. So in while playing accelerated, we need to take care of the Rossolimo variation. And Yugoslav is becoming common now. In the Yugoslav, what we do, this actually accelerated dragon helps take care of the Yugoslav variation. So what we do in the Yugoslav is this particular pawn is here, and then we try to do let's say some random move I'll play, and then the queen is here. So for the exchange of this queen and for the exchange of this bishop basically, and in the Yugoslav attack we try to castle queen side and launch the pawn attacks from here. But in this case it is a Maroczy bind, so we can't really play anti-Yugoslav here, but the main idea there is you just launch the d5 pawn, because in the accelerated dragon you had earlier gained some amount of tempo because you didn't do d6 d5, so that tempo comes helpful here. And then when you disrupt the center, the castling becomes hard, and instead of the castle happening, the center breaks open and the queens are exchanged. in case maybe after this session I'll just post the game. That is very interesting anti-Yugoslav game. Yeah. Yep. Was it too fast, too slow? Was it helpful or any questions?
I have another beginner question, Sri. If you want to go back a few steps, when the queen comes in, and you want to protect that rook over there, yeah, it takes somewhere.
Okay.
It was just a couple of steps before, and then you
Okay.
said the knight has to move to f6. Yeah, right over there. Yeah. So if I move knight f6, what happens if pawn advances? That
This pawn?
Yeah.
Yeah, even if the pawn advances, we are still going here because we are attacking the.
Okay.
Yeah, we are going to attack the queen so that this white place is emptied. In case the white moves, like white queen goes far away, we can the knight can move to this particular place, and basically that is the standard reply here, in case the pawn marches forward.
Thank you. That was very good. Very good. Thank you. Very helpful.
Okay. Shall we move to the study if we have no more doubts? Endgame studies? Or are we okay with this? Dragon variations? Let's move to the studies then. Yep. Sorry. Yep. In this case, basically we are going to see some endgame studies here, and we have to this needs to be a really interactive one so that we can brainstorm on various thoughts and try to figure out the solution here. So in this position, white is already two pawns up and a knight up, but you see that the black pawn is trying to get promoted, to the queen. So what do you think of this position, and like, does white have any chances to win or draw, or is it a lose? You can just throw your thoughts and we can try to make it work out here. Basically, we'll go for something interactive so that we instead of just me explaining what the solution is or what the moves are, we can try solve it together.
I think we should give a bunch of checks, like b4 or something seems to be start, but I don't know where to go from there, because, for example, if white to move,
okay,
Johnny. If you go b4, and if you it's actually free, you can take it, but somehow if you don't take it, you go king b5 is a bad move because there's a knight fork on d4.
Yep.
So yeah, what about b4 and then
if b4, then black can simply take it. That could be simple.
That's the problem.
You think, are we going for the fork? Are we going for setting up a fork?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, there's a fork on c2. Like, you know, if that pawn wasn't there, and then you can go knight e3 and knight c2, that'll be a fork. But the pawn is already on c2. We can't fork that way.
Yeah. Forking looks difficult.
Okay. Or is there a mating pattern? Because the king has literally just 3 squares to go. But I don't think you can possibly mate. No, you can't go there. Can't go to d5.
Can't go to d5. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, that's an interesting insight, actually. Seeing the limited places the king has.
But still, I don't think that's possible. You can block all 3 squares by the knight. It's not. It's probably impossible.
So where does let's go back to the fork idea. Where does the knight need to be in order for it to do a fork with a check?
This, if the king is here and the pawn is here, then it's a fork for knight.
And what if we let the pawn advance and get a queen, but then do a fork and get a check and then take the queen back?
E3 looks like it would be a fork if you could get the knight there and the king didn't move.
D3 is 4 moves away from the knight, though, so it's tricky to get there in time.
Yeah, it's tricky to catch in the fork, but like earlier we were trying to analyze where all does the king move. There could be some interesting way out there, like trying to analyze that also.
So okay, let's if we play c3, and then if e queens, if black queens, right? And then now if we
I
play
do a check.
B4, yeah, b4 check.
B4 check.
Oh no, not b4 check. Oh wait. I think you can just go knight d6 and then b4 is. I know b4 is still not made. You can just b4 is made next.
B4 is made.
No, knight d6 first.
Knight d6.
Yeah.
Okay, but before that, black has to play something. What do you think?
Now it's white's turn. Well, black has queened, so knight d6.
Okay.
Now my threat is to go b4 mate.
Oh wow!
Your threat is b4 mate. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. How do you stop that?
How do we stop that? We can do
this. You can go queen.
That's a win, right? Like you can just take the queen for free. For a pawn.
If we take the queen.
Yeah, I'm two pawns. I have a knight. Oh, it's a stalemate.
Yeah, exactly. That's the interesting trap here. We are not supposed to take the queen.
Oh, that's nice.
Are we supposed to win this thing? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we're almost there. You guys got it.
So sometimes it's good for white to resign.
Yeah, I think you need to give a check first, like knight b7 check and then take the queen.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, that's it. Now after the earlier, this white was the knight was covering these two places. The pawn was covering this. Okay. So if we take with the pawn, this place also gets covered, and the king has no place to escape. That is a stalemate. And as you said, if we just give it a check, now the king has place to go somewhere. The place is covered by the knight are emptied, and king has place to move, and then we take it. Let's say somewhere here, or even if we let's say here, take, and then it is not possible to stop both the pawns.
Correct.
So something to avoid was stalemate to be avoided, and think about how even if the queens like pawn promotes, how do we still make a win for white? Yeah, interesting. So let's move on to the next one. You see here that this pawn is about to get promoted, but both of them have attacked it. It is kind of doomed. And what happens in this position? Is it a win-lose draw for white to play?
It's minimum a draw, but can we win is the question.
I think this is winnable. King to d7 check.
King to d7 check. Okay.
But take the pawn.
Oh, take the pawn. Oh, nope. Never mind.
Yeah, but any check like that, we can take the pawn. It cannot be a check.
Yes.
Oh, the queen. Our queen is on the white squares. The promotion square is also a white square.
Okay.
Does that have to do anything with it? If I promote and say queen, and then the queen takes queen, I do a check somehow.
That's a good point, Johnny. I think you're right. Just we got to make a queen first, or a knight, whatever it is. Maybe a queen. Yeah.
Oh, a knight is interesting.
You want to promote it to queen?
Yeah, queen is fine. Yeah.
Okay.
And then queen takes queen. Then queen b1. Oh no. Somehow.
What about queen to b1 check here?
Queen to b1, king a7.
Or king d.
Yeah, go. Continue the line. I think is the queens.
Okay.
Queen takes queen.
Queen takes
queen. b1, king a7 draws. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, queen b1, king a7. Queen b1 check. Queen b1 check.
Okay.
King a7.
Okay.
Does king c7 work here instead of checking? Because you can't check you with his queen, because you can take with your queen back, and it would be mate. If you play king c7.
Yeah, king c7 and
king c7 is met with queen. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm kind of trapped, right?
No, but he has to move the either the king or the queen has to move.
Yeah, both of them are checkmate.
Yeah.
Because queen b6 is checkmate. Yes.
Okay, queen. Okay. Okay, but here we considered that the after a queen is found, the black's best play is to take the queen. Can black play something else in this case, which could help it?
Oh, okay. Queen d3 might be stalemate. Yeah.
How is it a stalemate?
Queen takes queen and it's stalemate.
Yeah, perfect. Queen takes queen is a stalemate.
Oh yeah.
Okay, then I think that's why it's a knight. Okay.
Knight. Let's see knight. Okay.
Okay. It's not even a knight. Okay. Probably a rook. I mean, okay. I think a rook is safer, but if you take it's lost. But the point, yeah.
He can just move his king and check you when your queen.
Yeah. Win my queen. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Oh no. No. That is lost. We saw that. We already saw that. I think king d7 is like white is lost. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's why it's a rook. You need to keep attacking the king also.
Okay. Now what?
Now queen takes queen loses, but queen d3 also it's not a checkmate. It's not a stalemate. Sorry, queen d3.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yes, and b7.
Now by promoting it to the rook, that is a clever promotion. Good one. By promoting it to a rook, we avoided the stalemate, and now
b7 queen a6 mate.
Yep. Now it is easy. Yeah. Nice. So the seemingly innocent endgame, and there are a few surprises in this one.
Oh, white to move then evens the rook, right? Like rook to
white to move. How
check.
do we win the rook?
Rook h7 check.
Rook h7 check. Okay.
Yeah, it's a square, right?
Okay, and take the.
Oh. It's a stalemate again.
Yeah, it's a stalemate again.
Okay, amazing, Sridhar. Okay. Okay.
Check. Where does the king go then?
Yeah, king e6 is the only move.
No checks. You just how about king e white king e d5? You prepare it or no? Do you prepare?
But again, king rook to a5 check, right?
Now the black will start checking the king, and maybe win this rook also in case.
Yeah, rook a5 check, and then just rook a5 check, king e7. It's a standard draw, I think.
Oh, gotcha.
Or he can keep checking forever, whatever it is. So okay, can you go back? Let's see the winning plan.
Yes. Do you move your rook and check the king vertically? D6. Do you need to check?
Can you check with the pawn first so it's not stalemate after you skewer? Maybe.
Check with the pawn first. Okay. Now the king.
If he steps forward, you can move the pawn up again. But if he takes, then you have the skewer. If he goes king d6.
Yeah, what happens then?
Then you push the pawn, it's check again, and if he takes, then you have your skewer.
But if he goes back, goes back to d7.
He goes back to.
to.
If he goes back, if he goes king d7.
Okay, rook h8 wins. Yeah, rook h8.
Why does rook h8 win?
Because you can't take the pawn.
Yeah, if he takes the
Voting
pawn,
then.
it's a skewer, and then you're
Give
voting.
check and take the pawn.
Yeah, that's a good point. That works.
Oh.
Is there another move here? Maybe. Could you?
Oh, okay.
You
You
can
queen
promote.
first.
You can
You queen
promote.
first. No,
Yeah,
you
you-
queen first.
Yeah,
And
you
then
queen
rook h8,
first,
rook
and then you
h7.
have the
Yeah.
skewer.
You don't
Queen
give him the
first?
time. Yeah. And
He
then
has
check
to-
and check.
And what does black do here?
If he takes, you skewer. You check him on the 8th rank, and then he has to step to the 7th, and then you win the rook.
Yeah.
And if he goes away, you're winning because you have a queen, and you just take the rook.
Yeah, that's it.
So if he goes away, you can skewer anyways.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
the point is keep checking and don't give him time to come to
Yeah,
rook
we
h.
have to keep our pawn marching further. We know that it could be taken, but even if it is taken, we still have an advantage. Okay, you guys are solving super fast. Very fast. Yeah.
I think teamwork, I think.
It is.
That's what we need when we show up on a game. We need like 10 of us.
Okay, white to move.
Yes, white to move. Black is about
to
to
promote.
make a queen as a bishop.
If you take the
could you give
bishop,
us a
you
clue if it's a
pawn.
draw or a win? Could you give us a clue?
What?
Could you give us a clue it's a draw or a win? I think it's a draw. There's no way white could win this. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think you can win this as white.
Yeah, it's a draw.
Yeah, it's a draw.
If you take the bishop, I think you just keep checking the rook, maybe.
Could
I take bishop.
a rook
I
for
queen.
stalemate?
I check.
I think rook h3 check. King. Yeah, rook h3 check. And then you can't go to f2 because I'll go rook h2 and it's a draw.
Ah.
Right?
Okay.
And then he has to go to f4 or okay, he can go 2 squares, right? One of 2 squares. Give me a second. So if he goes to g4, g file, like then you can just take the bishop and then square and then win the game.
How do we take the bishop like this?
A rook.
Well, with the rook, so you have the skewer.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a win. So he has to step on f4. Right.
Okay.
What if he steps away? You can just move your rook.
Then you can just go rook g3 and win the game.
Yeah.
Can't step away. So now again, I think I can come and check the same thing. Rook h4 check.
Yeah,
if he goes to
steps on the
f3, I
F5,
just
on the
come back.
G file.
Yeah, if he comes back to f3, I just come back on h3 and check. If that doesn't work. No? Okay, come up. Yeah. But the only thing is, yeah. Okay, he comes up again f5. Yeah.
F5. Okay.
Yes. And then again I check rook h5.
Again check. Okay.
Yeah. Then he has to go he can go to g6 now. Oh, he can't even go to g6.
What if he goes up one more, and then you can't go over the g file if he steps away? Because the bishop's
What's
countering. If you go king f6, you check on h6 again.
Okay, king f6, rook h6, correct?
Yeah, then if he steps away, you don't have the g file for your rook.
Oh.
The
okay. So now I think rook h6 is not the move then. Can you come back?
Is there a trick here? Yeah, is it? Well, he can block with the bishop at that point instead of stepping away. Does that work?
Here the blocking by bishop.
Yeah, that also works.
So yeah, I think it is. This is.
Yeah, I think rook h6 might be a mistake. Now we need to find a move.
If you go rook h1.
Rook h1.
If he takes you, it's a stalemate. After he queens.
Yeah, that's a great rook h1, rook g1. Okay, that's the idea.
Yeah.
Yes. Once he gets up there.
Beautiful. Okay. Yeah.
Well,
interesting segment. Yeah.
Because you drive the king all the way to f6 because our white king shouldn't have the g7 square to That's why you drive the king all the way to f6. Okay, rook h1.
Yeah, and if he just keeps moving, you just repeat checks.
Yeah. Okay.
Well.
Yeah, great puzzles. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Second last one here.
Okay.
What do you think? It is a draw, win, lose,
White to
to
move.
play, white to play.
Yeah, it can't be a win, but
Yes, you can't win. Obviously.
I move my king. The white king goes away. Something.
Here.
king f1.
King
Towards-
f1, you can push his pawn, and you can't. Actually, you can skewer at the
That's
end.
fine. That's fine. I'll just go
Yeah.
back. The king goes
Bishop
back
c6.
because I got
bishop-
my bishop's on the white squares, and that pawn is promoting on white.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you can maybe maneuver the knight eventually. It's the tricky part to cover the
check.
Like this.
Cover the check.
Well, I think you put the knight in the bishop's way on the.
No, now bishop h1, right?
Yeah, you move the knight in front of the bishop, so it's not covering the square anymore. I think. Yeah, the bishop there. And how does he stop this? You need to get the knight to f2, I think. So that takes a bit. Can you just slowly move the knight to f2 if you're black?
Yeah, even then that's a draw, right? Like even knight is on f2, you just come back with the bishop.
Ah, yeah.
So okay, what about knight f3? Just blocking all the square. No. Can you go back to the last position and then knight f3 for black? Bishop g2, and then
You can't take because the king protects. Can you check the king away though? No.
can you go on now?
Knight d2 check is black. The king has to move away. You take the bishop.
Yeah, and then win. Yeah, knight d2 wins.
Knight d2
wins. Yeah, wins.
Yeah,
for
that
black.
wins.
So this.
Yeah, there's
Wins.
yeah.
I have to move, and then the bishop is gone.
Yes.
Okay. But I think here we
king
did.
f1 is not a great move. Is that what is the point? Or
Yeah, king f1. I think we could go something like
no,
this.
we already
even
saw it's yeah, we already saw. Okay, good, okay.
Yeah.
like that.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Oh no. I take if pawn moves, I take the knight.
No, but bishop takes g2 draws, right?
No, I don't think so because the pawn's too forward. Even though you get the opposition.
Yeah.
Oh, pawn takes bishop.
Yeah,
Okay.
king g1 draw, right?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
king g1 doesn't draw. Okay, king
Yeah,
s-
because you just sidestep and then.
Oh. Oh my god.
The
Okay.
pawn's too far forward, so the opposition doesn't work.
Okay. Got it. Sorry. Yeah, it doesn't draw. Oh wait, what about king g1? Does now king g1? Yeah. Now
If we take the pawn further,
king h1.
King h1, and then
Knight probably moves.
Now you have to move the knight because I'm attacking the knight.
Yeah.
okay.
Another one.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now again bishop g2.
You have to keep the knight from checking a king out of the way.
No,
Yeah,
just
that works.
Still.
Oh, stalemate, huh?
Yeah.
He doesn't need to take though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it doesn't need to take though.
If he can route to
If he writes to f2.
Oh, okay. Knight.
Mate, so you need to stop
Yeah,
the
knight d3, knight
Yeah.
f2. Yeah, knight d3, knight f2 wins. Yeah, it's a mate.
Knight d3, knight f2 wins. Okay, but till then,
So instead of moving the bishop there,
Bishop's got to move.
yeah.
Maybe move the bishop e4 to block the knight's path to those squares.
But knight h3, knight h3, knight f2. There's two parts to f2.
Yeah, you're right.
The only place he can play bishop f1. Yeah, the only thing is he can play bishop f1 blocking both the paths.
Okay. Now black to play actually. Black.
Oh, white. No, black to play. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. He can't even do that.
Yeah.
Knight d3 just wins. Okay, let's go back to the starting position. Then king f1 is definitely losing then. We need to do much more things immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very difficult. This one is.
Hold on, my phone is in the bathroom. All right.
What do they do if like bishop to c6, and then when they move bishop to h1, and then what? How does black
Bishop
like
to
get your
c6,
bishop?
then black could, let's say, do something here. Okay.
And then bishop to h1, and then like I was just wondering, like, is this stable or something? Like, can black?
No, knight g2,
yeah.
just knight g2 again, right? Knight
Here
g2,
it,
king h2. Yeah, knight g2, king h2, and then your bishop is trapped.
yeah. Bishop is trapped.
Is this white to win?
No, white
can't win. It doesn't have
White
enough
can't win in this.
Wait, when the bishop is on h1, if you have knight g2, couldn't you go king f1? And then if knight there, take if knight then comes to g2 takes.
Knight then comes to g2 takes. Okay, we won't come here.
No. Okay, this is not the position. I think. Bishop c6.
It was the position where the bishop got trapped.
Yeah, bishop
This,
c6, king g. Yeah. Now bishop h1, knight g2 wins. Yeah.
What about
king f1?
king f1?
Okay, king h2.
Yeah.
No. Knight g2, king f1. Black knight g2. King f1.
Yeah.
White king f1. Black
okay.
king h2. Yeah, just wins. This wins.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pawn takes.
You take the
And then
knight,
you
pawn
take the
takes.
bishop
Okay.
the next move. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
So so the point is that okay, can we go bishop to e8? Bishop to d7, attacking the knight, attacking the pawn, forcing h7.
Forcing h7 could be
Otherwise, I
protected.
take it.
Yeah.
H2.
Okay.
If protected, I'll take. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now.
But now c6, bishop c6.
Okay, bishop
Now
c6.
bishop c6.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
so taking over the diagonal, and then now the king has no longer access to h2, and your king can start to walk to f1.
Okay, and after this,
Bishop. No. Bishop. No knight. Okay. No. Bishop king f1. King f1.
Yeah, you move it.
king f1.
Yeah. And then you chill on the.
Yeah.
Oh.
No
Oh
chill.
God.
That doesn't work. So take.
Doesn't work. Sorry. Okay, go back. So, okay, can you give us the first move because we have like 7 minutes?
You are almost here. You are there. Continue from here.
One here.
Maybe
So
the
the black
king
king can no longer
before
go to
going back to king
h2.
6. Maybe start moving the king before king 6, before you play bishop c6. After bishop e7.
Okay, what about bishop h1 now? Now
Yeah,
bishop
what about
h1.
bishop h1 right now?
Knight g2 king f1.
Knight.
G2 king f1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
you
it.
just. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
I
Yeah,
don't.
you just,
I
Because
don't even know that's a draw. Like, how do I know that's a draw?
so
It looks
it's a
very
best.
dangerous. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like it's difficult for the pawn to get to the queen position here, and the key moves is this one. Like yeah, this is the key move here. We just force it here, and then cover this particular thing. Now yeah. Once the bishop is here, we can't do much.
So before the knight comes to f3, you need to come to h1, just saving
Exactly.
the
Exactly. The
that's
point
the
is to
second.
come here before knight does anything.
Okay, and also come to f1 because otherwise knight g2 would bad.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
Okay.
Awesome.
Win, lose, draw. Last one. 5
Last
minutes.
one. Ooh.
It has to be a win, right? It can't be a draw. If it's a draw, I can draw anytime.
That's
yeah, you're gonna have to do the bishop knight mate somehow.
Yeah, I'll let my time run out and it's probably a draw. Okay, it's going to be really, really terrible. It's somehow, I think, dealing with trapping the bishop. That's what I feel. Like king e1, king e1, and then if okay, wait, give me a second. So you can go either ways. So if he goes king c2,
You have to discover check with your knight, so none of the ones to the right work because you can either take with your bishop, king, or
Yeah,
discover
that's
check.
the point. So if he goes to a4, for example, knight b6 wins.
The one c2. How do you stop c2? Though it's too far.
King, yeah, just follow the bishop. I think king d2, king c, bishop c2, king d2. Oh, go back
Bishop.
one.
Okay.
Yeah, follow.
King e1.
Yeah.
Okay.
King e1, bishop c2.
Bishop c2. Okay.
Then you have to follow.
King d2. You just need to get him on a follow him. King c1. Get him on the middle of the board so that you can check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, follow him again. Yeah. King b2. Yeah. Now anywhere you go, it's a discovered check.
Yeah, here it is fork. Here it is a fork. Here.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. You just and then you have to do bishop and knight mate. So that's another whole thing.
Yeah, somebody needs to teach us that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Then you offer a draw because you don't know how to.
From 40 moves. Yeah, bishop and knight mate in 40 moves. Yeah.